I found this doctor up in Chicago that wrote a book with Susan Summers, okay, and he was along the lines of this being a non-traditional doctor, and I went to see him, and he examined me and all this other stuff, and I had to bring blood work up, and he told me, he said that what you need to do is go home for 3 months and follow exactly what I tell you to do, okay? And that is the protocol for what we do, okay? And what it was, he says, sugar's the number one enemy, okay? It's the cocaine, and it's worse than that. And number two, no processed foods. He says, same thing, and you got to drink at least a gallon of water a day. You got to clean yourself out. And well, really what he did tell me, because I was a weightlifter and a pretty good one, and he assessed my body fat. And even though I had a six-pack, he said, he had this piece of equipment, told me I had 22% of my body was fat. And he says, I want you to come back to be about 10%, 9 or 10%. And just do what I tell you to do right now, And that is, no processed foods, no sugar in particular, but also, dairy's processed, so that doesn't include, and grains anymore. All the grains are really processed, or they're altered. No grains, and he told me at that time, and I've changed that. Just stay with limited fruit, all the berries and green apples, and then stay away from big starch. Okay, so anyhow. His parting message was this: 1 out of 1,000 of my patients, and he says, I know what the hell I'm doing. When I tell them to do what they need to do, come back with excuses. And he says, if you're not willing to follow this, don't come back. And he was $750 an hour. He's a big boy. And so I went home and I said, shit, I'm paying that kind of money, I'm going to follow. Anyhow, 3 months later, came back, did exactly what, sent him the blood work and all that I had to do. And did exactly what he said. And everything was cleaned up.